Hi guys, this is your girl Kdid coming out to you right now. I'm just chilling. I just got home from prayer meeting and I'm just with Katanya. Well, Katanya's in the kitchen eating some cereal because this is very. We got home hella late. I think we got home after 11, and right now it's after 12. I had to look at my watch. I'm like, my watch is not on my hand, but I'm not going to give you the broad and long story. If you want the long story and a long video about this and like the process, if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below so I can tell you the process I went through, how I did it, what happened, why it happened, things like that. But if you have questions about it, definitely tell me. No, definitely ask me at the bottom, okay? So this is basically, you see from the title anyway, this happened, where does this happen? We're 19 right now. I got this apartment last year. I was in that, this is 19, 18, 2016 August. I first went to the shelter. Honestly, the third shelter I was in, I cried. But, alright. So I went to the Bronx, if you don't know, at Path, and I went to shelter the first time 2015 when I was pregnant with my daughter, and they told me basically hell no. They told me if I wasn't evicted I could not get into their program, but I didn't have a real cause. The person who I lived with had to take me to court, blase blase. But I was pregnant and going through so much stress. I didn't want to lose my baby because of stress, because honestly, your body's so fragile. It's fragile, but it's not fragile. Because, yeah, basically. So I didn't want to make the stress kill me or kill the baby. So I was just so always worried about having a stillbirth, and just, I prayed over my daughter all the time. And I'm so happy because she's amazing and she's so beautiful. So, 2016 is when they let me into the shelter. I personally think that New York has like the best shelters. That sounds so bad, but when I first went to the shelter, the first one I went into was cool. I was actually pretty happy. My mother went missing at that point too. It was crazy. They had me first shelter in Manhattan. I actually loved it because the place I was living before, I hated it so bad. It was worse than where I grew up at, and it's annoying. So I was so happy to get into the shelter. Because what I have done, paperwork I brought into them, that's why they were able to actually let me in this time. The first time they was like, nah, you can't unless you do what you gotta do. I got my eye drops in. My eyes are mad dry. So I went away to Jamaica for a month and a half. And well, I was actually in a different after that, because after a certain amount of days they kicked me out from the shelter. Not like kicked me out, but I had to go through the whole process again. So they let me in another shelter, and that shelter was in the Bronx, which that was my best. All right, this is my best shelter because I was allowed to have a stove. They gave me a not stove but a hot plate, so I was extra hyper because of that damn hot plate. Not all the shelters had hot plates, not all shelters have hot plates, and one of the shelters I've been in didn't have a proper fridge. It didn't, it was horrible. I love that place. I stayed there for, I want to say 2 or 3 months, and then I went to Jamaica. I came back. I had to go through the whole process again. They didn't want me to go back in the shelter. They said they want to send me back to Jamaica. I'm like, I'm not a resident of Jamaica, but for them, if I stayed there more than a week, I'm basically a resident. I'm like, bruh, are you kidding me right now? So it was a hot mess. So I went into another shelter in the Bronx. That one was the smallest shelter I've ever been into. Oh my gosh. At the time I had a jogger. So I only had enough space for the jogger to get into the room. Like I had to maneuver to put it into the room. It was just like, it was smaller than a studio apartment. Like literally there was a dresser, a bed, and the heater was on, but the heat never came up, so I had to make me and Kataya sleep in our I'm a person, I'm very crazy about germs, so luckily she didn't have to put her coat on, But I put like sweaters and tights on her to go to bed because it was so cold. And I'm like, if I'm cold, she's definitely cold. And stuff like that. I asked them about the heat. They said the heat is on. I never felt the heat. Like, I never ever felt the heat. Like, there was a bed. There's her crib. And I had mad suitcases with me. Oh my God, I had suitcases with me. I had a refrigerator, which didn't work. I had a microwave. I had something else in there. And then I had the bathroom. So it was like literally at night, it would be like this. Only my thigh could fit, not going straight ahead, could go only fit through sideways, go into the bathroom. That's how small it was in that room with the jogger in there. It was crazy. The bathroom had the most space, so I was happy to be in the bathroom. At the time, I didn't have a phone, so I used my tablet a lot for podcasts. It was a lonely time, but I had peace. It sounds crazy, it sounds weird, but I had peace in a way. It was kind of weird. I was just so happy to not be in the house I grew up in. It was just people that annoying me. The only thing I hate about shelters is the fire drills. And I was just looking at my nose the whole time. Kataya, are you finished? Yeah. All the cereal is done? Are you putting the paper napkin in the garbage? You clean the table? Yes or no? No. Clean the table, please. Put the extra. You did. Should I have to come in there and look? Go look at the table one more time and see if all the crumbs are up. Go. So, yeah. I don't even know what I was saying. But the only thing I don't like was fire drills and curfews. I didn't like that. But with the church stuff, okay, good girl. Go in your bed now, baby. So, the curfews I didn't like. But when I had like church and stuff, it wasn't a thing. The last shelter I lived in, they wanted to give me a thing, and I was like, I was sued because they didn't want me to go like to church. I'm like, that's the only thing keeping me sane right now. Are you kidding me? So I was in this last shelter. I actually have video and stuff. Like, the place was kind of a mess when I left. It was a kind of a mess, but kind of not a mess. I was living there for a year in that last shelter I was in, and I finally, God made a way for me to get out of there, and I'm happy. And this is where the apartment I'm in now. I did an apartment tour, but I never showed it on my channel. I feel like my apartment is not together, and this is not my last apartment. I don't want to be living in this apartment forever. It's not how I want it to be. I don't have all the furniture I want to have, but you know, I'm very grateful. I'm very happy what God has done for me. The last shelter I feel like is my greatest experience, just because I was there the longest out of all of the other shelters I was at, either for 10 days, 5 days, or a couple of months. So I had great experiences there, but it's not as like great because the stress and the depression and everything I went through. But at the end, God made a way. So if you want to hear the process I've been through with that and how I felt, I probably should have been documenting it. And it's funny thing, I've done videos at the shelter. You just didn't know I was at the shelter. It depends on how long you've been a subscriber of my channel, or just a person who's gonna look at my back videos and see if you could tell when I was living at the shelter. So yeah, it's just, I wanted to do this video so bad. Like, I mean, a while ago, even when I was at the shelter, but I was kind of, when I say scared, I don't want people to judge me and say, oh my gosh, she's a shelter girl. But you know what? Everybody goes through something, and everybody has to go through something to appreciate what they are going to have. And I appreciate everything I have. I appreciate the places I've been to. At a time, I felt like I was never going to get out of the situation, but I definitely did. So if you're a person who's watching this and feel like nothing is going to change, nothing is going to get better, I could tell you I'm a living testimony that things will get better. Like, it will get better. Thank God for my daughter, because I thank God for Jesus. But I'm just saying, thank God for my daughter, because she's a tangible thing who was here, just keeping me sane half of the time. Because it's like, she kept me sane. Like, she really did. Like, she kept me awake, alert, and like, I wasn't always happy, but it's just like, you gotta have your smiling face for your kid, because you just want to make things to be better for her, and you live for her. It's like, I'm so grateful. I'm just saying, if you want to hear more in depth, if you have more questions, please leave them down below so I can make a separate video to answer that question, guys. I think I'm ready to open up about this subject, and let's see how this goes. Hopefully it doesn't get too out of hand. Hopefully it don't get out of hand at all. Hopefully it's just, yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.